Good evening. Welcome to the Trails Radio Show. Happy Saturday. Today, my guest is actor Mr. Vlasta Vrana. Join us in a minute. Thank you. My first question to you is, how did you become an actor? How did you get started in the acting business?
Well, I got involved in, the extracurricular theater in school and liked it. And the bug was planted, and I went to the university and learned. And I've always wanted to be an actor. So.
Yeah. Did you start out in the theater? Is that how you started out in the theater? Stage
Well, I did. I did quite a bit of theater when I was young, and loved it. But then, I started getting invited to get involved in, in film and other kinds of productions. So I expanded.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to expand to the different ranges of acting, from theater to television, film, voice acting.
Sure. Well, there's all kinds. Now there's video games even.
Oh yeah.
There's all kinds of multimedia presentations where they need voice. So I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
What is the most challenging part and the most difficult part about being an actor?
Well, the thing is, nobody's going to be an actor who hasn't got who can't manage the insecurity of it. There's no guarantees of any kind. Oh, sorry, there's a phone here. There's no guarantees that you're going to be employed tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to make a living and depend on acting, that can be a little tricky.
Yeah.
But I've been lucky. I've managed to make my living my whole life and enjoy what I do. And I'm at an age now where my priorities are retiring. And they asked me about retirement, and I said, I don't know what that is. I'm retired from what?
Yeah.
It's not so much a job. It's what I do. It's who I am.
Yeah. Why retire if you enjoy it?
Well, yeah. And in fact, I'm getting some interesting roles now that I'm a little bit older.
Yeah. Do you have any upcoming projects in acting or voice acting? Do you have any upcoming projects you can share?
Well, yeah, there's smaller projects. A lot of them there's a lot of pilots going on now. So there's some animated projects going. I'm playing some of them are beautiful. The new animations are just gorgeous, and I'm very happy to be involved in those. But yeah, I can't really talk about them because they're just getting started, so they tend to be a little bit funny about who, what information gets put out. But the information, the animations are beautiful. It looks like I'm going to have some fun with these characters.
Yeah.
There's other film projects, but again, it's all just it's the off season, so everything's sort of lining up at this point. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get started doing the voice acting? You've done some video game voiceovers. How did you get started in that range of acting?
Well, I've always done voice. When I was in university, I got involved in the university radio station, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always been behind a microphone and enjoy that too. So I've done a lot of ads. I've probably done, thousands of ads. And plus hundreds of documentaries. And
wow.
So my voice has always been out there. And plus a lot of, there's corporate stuff.
Yeah.
There's corporations that want around and make presentations or institutional stuff, like museums and so on. I was the voice for Air Canada for 10 years. When you got on the plane, that was my voice that says, those are the exits,
Wow.
And this is what you do. So, but it's stuff like that, there's always...
Yeah. There's always something to do in voice acting. There's always companies, commercials, advertisements that need a voice.
Yeah.
I've done some voice acting, and that is fun to do. Yeah.
Oh, it is a lot of fun. Well, the great thing about voice is that it can be... you know what I miss? I miss the fact that they don't really do radio dramas anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I'm old enough to have done radio dramas. And that was great, because it's just people standing around a microphone, and it's like it was like from the early days.
Yeah.
It hadn't changed. There's somebody there making the sound effects live. A lot of them are, now if you do something like that, they'll be canned sound effects. They'll have a bank of a million different sound effects. But when I was doing that, there'd be somebody with a bell or somebody with a box with gravel in it for footsteps, or and there was a wonderful sense of creating something, completely of the imagination. And so I kind of miss that. But that's part of the whole, variety of things that an actor can do.
Yeah. Yeah, those radio dramas, they were really interesting and fun to listen to. And you're right, they should come back. Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed those a lot.
Yeah. Do you still do theater these days? Do you still do theater?
Not much. Not much. I haven't been on stage in, let's see, 6-7 years, I guess. I did A View from the Bridge, which was a great play, but I haven't been on stage much, no.
Yeah. That's how I got started in high school, doing a few high school plays. And that was stage is interesting because you get the audience's reaction right away, and it's a different audience each night.
Absolutely. That's true. People don't realize that. The show is different every night. And, you're backstage on the quality of the audience.
Mm-hmm.
We good one tonight, or they're being stubborn, or difficult, or they're not listening, or, that keeps the show fresh, too. I think it's important for any actor to do stage, to do theater, to do a live, performance, because it puts a certain pressure on you. And, I think it creates skills that are very important for any performer to have.
Yeah. And that's how most actors get started, either on stage or in radio.
Oh, yeah.
How did you, name some of your film and television work? How did you get in that? Was that fun to get into after theater and started in film and television?
Well, it wasn't after. It was with.
Oh, okay.
I just got, I started on some small projects when I was young, in my early 20s. Early Cronenberg films, some of the early horror movies that he did, Shivers or Rabid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That would have been, I was 24, 25 when that happened. I was on the Avengers, in fact, when I was, 26 years old. They did 3 episodes in Toronto, and I played the spy who got John Steed. I don't know if you know the Avengers, the original British TV series.
Yeah.
And I met them and worked with them. That was fun. And then, you get new roles, better roles, more interesting roles, and
it's a different experience with each acting project, and it's always fun. It's a challenge, but it's fun to do.
Well, every project is different. I did a project last week. It was a TV thing, and it was sort of a historical recreation. There was am I right? You're in New Orleans.
I'm from Louisiana, so I've lived.
Okay.
I lived close to New Orleans, but now I'm in Mississippi.
Right. Oh, I see. Okay. So up here in Canada, we have where I live. There's a lot of First Nations people, natives.
Yeah.
And of course, there's been a long history of trouble, of bad behavior on the side of the colonists. And one of the problems was what they call the residential schools, where they were trying to rehabilitate the native population into a more of a Western society. So they would go and grab the kids living off in the wilderness with their families and put them into schools, which are terrible places because a lot of children died. The conditions were awful. So that's a terrible story that in our history, which the United States has similar stories. So what we did was this last week, it was a trial of the engineer of those residential schools, and I played the defendant, his defense counsel,
Mm-hmm.
and it was an interesting project. It was pretty intense, and I learned a lot myself. And it's going to go on TV at some point, but. So it's hard to say, what's going to happen with it. But you get, you get exposed. It's like being in school the whole time.
Yeah.
If you get into stuff like that, you learn.
Oh yeah. Each acting project you learn something new with it, because especially acting projects based on historical stuff that you didn't know.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've enjoyed a lot of that. I've done a lot. I've played a lot of American heroes. I played Franklin Roosevelt twice.
Oh wow!
I played Paul Revere. I played various cabinet members, and a lot of those would be for American network films that we're filming up here.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any other advice for people who want to be in acting? Do you have any other pieces of advice?
Well, for young people wanting to get into acting?
Well, anybody could get into acting. Anybody.
Okay, anybody. Well, my main suggestion is find who's doing theater in your area and get involved. Because really, just to get on the boards, to get in front of people, to learn the language of performance, to be involved with people who are interested in the same thing. Acting is a collaborative enterprise.
Oh yeah.
You depend on other people for it to work. You want to get a good mix with the actors. You need a director to tell you, to keep the rudder, to steer the ship, to steer the whole story. And everybody has their jobs, and so so if you're going to be a performer, if you want to be an actor, it's a great idea to get involved in local theater, any level, just to get on stage, to get the feeling, to see if you like it first of all, if you have any feeling for it, and if you do, then you will improve, you will learn, and you will be talking to people who have the same interests. So that's how you learn how to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, in acting, like you said, it's a team. You have to depend on everybody, the director, producer,
That's right.
because without certain people, there's no acting project.